Did season 8 of Game of Thrones ruin the show? Let's talk about it. Game of Thrones is without a doubt one of the best TV shows to be put on TV ever. It has set the bar, and I don't think there will be another show like it in our lifetime. That's how good I think it is. But the last season for the show has left a lot of different opinions on the table as to whether or not this last season has ruined the show. Now, I've seen this happen a lot of popular shows just don't know how to end well. I mean, you could go back to Sopranos, Dexter, and I'm not going to say your name. I'm not going to say your name because you still piss me off till this day. But yeah. I'm not going to sit here and criticize the creators of the show and say it's bad writing, because the writing on this show has been amazing throughout, honestly. And I'm not going to sit here and blame the creators and say, yeah, it was bad writing. But I am going to say I feel they got lazy a little bit in the last season. My biggest issue, and I think a lot of people have the same issue, is that this season was way too short. Same with last season. I think last season had like 7 episodes. This had 6. Way too short. For the amount of stories they needed to close out, all the arcs that everyone had, it was just way too short. 6 episodes just felt too crammed in. And I think it hurt the show. It really did. There are a lot of good moments that I did see in the season that I loved. The first 3 episodes were great. Even though they did feel rushed, I thought they were amazing. Especially the 3rd episode, The Long Night. I call it the Battle of Winterfell, because that's what I think it is. But I thought the episode was great. However, the White Walkers have been teased since season 1, and it's been leading up to this great big battle. And it was great, but it shouldn't have been just 1 episode. This needed to be at least 2 episodes because it was rushed. We only got 1, and it was great, but come on, guys. You got lazy. Some of the character arcs were actually done very well as far as, how they ended up. I thought the Hound arc was done very well. I was very satisfied. I mean, that fight he had with his brother, amazing. Great. I thought Theon Greyjoy's arc was done very well. Had a nice closing, and I was satisfied with his arc. It was great. However, I was not happy with Jaime Lannister and Cersei Lannister. I'm sorry. Jaime was actually, strangely enough, my favorite character on the show. I thought his character was so complex. I thought Jaime's character was so different from anything we've seen. So many different shades of gray with his character. And even though his character ended up making a decision that, yeah, it makes sense, but I just didn't like it. I thought Jaime's character went through so much with Brienne, and I just thought his character grew a lot. And for him to go back to Cersei after everything, I was disappointed. I didn't hate it. I just would have rather have seen it done differently. Cersei, I was not happy with at all. I'm almost pissed that they made us feel bad for her at the end. I didn't like it. She deserved a much more horrible death. And maybe it wouldn't have been as bad, again, if the season wasn't so rushed. But because it was, are you kidding me? Am I supposed to feel bad for Cersei after everything she's done? No, I'm sorry. No. Dany's turn, as far as the Mad Queen. I had no problem with it. I mean, if you really see Game of Thrones, all the seasons, you would see it was building up to that it's a possibility that Dany could turn bad. I had no issue with that. The problem is, again, it was so sudden. I mean, honestly, Dany needed to be the Mad Queen for at least a good full season for us to get that emotional impact. It would be like, no. I mean, it did feel that way, but again, so rushed. It didn't feel right. Even though it was done beautifully, it really was. I mean, shot for shot, that episode, when you see her make that decision and turning and burning all the families, and It was great, but it just felt too rushed. I know I'm saying a lot. It just felt rushed. As far as the very last episode, I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I kind of left it as I've seen worse. You know, again, it wasn't just this last episode. This whole season just, felt so shortcut that the ending that we got, honestly, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I mean, the way it closed out, I thought it was actually pretty decent. It just wasn't exciting or memorable as I would want it to be. But, I mean, for instance, the way her character ended, I thought it was great. I actually want to see a spin-off of her adventures. And also, Arya, let's give it up. I mean, she was the MVP of this season, for sure. If anything, if people hate this season, a reason to like it is for Arya. I mean, she really shined in this season. Tyrion. I think Tyrion, throughout the whole show, has been the most consistent character. Peter Dinklage is just great. He really is. He's a great actor, and again, in this season, his character was great, and he's definitely going to be up for another Emmy for sure. He was excellent. I love the way Sansa ended. She was the Queen of the North now, and Jon, I felt was set aside this season. Really, he felt more of a side character, and I kind of wanted more for him, but at the same time, at least he's still alive, right? And he went back to Night's Watch, and he went back to basically what he does best. Another thing to take away from this is that maybe someday we could see a continuation of these characters, because a lot of them are still left alive, and I would love to see a movie of Game of Thrones, maybe for HBO or even on the big screen. So that's always possible. But all in all, I was slightly disappointed, but to me, I still think Game of Thrones is an amazing show, and I don't think, even though the shortcomings of this season did hurt the show, I don't think it ruined the show. I still think the show is amazing, and it's worth watching. It's amazing, and I think it will stand the test of time. I really do. So that's my thoughts on the Game of Thrones on Season 8. Comment below. Let me know what you think. Do you think Game of Thrones is the greatest show ever? Do you think that Season 8 ruined the show completely and you feel like you wasted your time? Let me know. Comment below. I want to hear your thoughts. And if you like my little review here, please like, share, and subscribe. And we'll be back.